The monthly July data is in. What are the numbers telling us? Hi everyone. Thanks for watching another edition of Mike's Monthly Market Update. My name is Mike Rennick. I am your host for this video. The market is changing. We know that. Let's take a look at where it's at and where we think it's going to head. Looking at this chart right here at Sarasota, Manatee County, it's the macro level. Data is as effective as of June 30th. They call it the July numbers. The months of inventory is the number I want to focus on this chart. It's up. Our problem, separate from interest rates and recessions and stuff like that, has been supply. Supply is up. That's a good news story. Let's take a look at this chart. It's a little busy, but let's look at the light green. Those are the listings on the market. We see it's up substantially for the July data, and it's been climbing over the past few months. The fact that it's that high is a good news as we get away from bidding wars and all the turmoil and no mortgages and all that kind of stuff. So the light green, those are the listings. The numbers are up substantially. When we look at solds, which are the dark green, they're down. We look at the pending, they're down also. We're seeing that on a national basis, and when I publish a video locally, and when we look more locally on the weekly basis, we'll see that also. But so that trend of listings are up, sales are down a little bit, pendings are down, which are future sales. Does that mean that the market's headed off a cliff? Not at all. Let me show you some more data. Here's the question everyone is asking. I have buyers saying, Mike, I'm going to wait until the price correction comes. There's nothing in the data. There's no analyst suggesting that I can find that that's going to happen. Prices are holding steady when we look at this chart. They're up substantially from a year ago, and they're holding steady over the last few months. So with all the dynamics happening right now, price is not changing. So if you're thinking of waiting, if you're right, you'll win. But if you're wrong, and many experts are suggesting that, I'm always going to tell the truth from what I can find. The experts are suggesting prices won't fall, but the rate of increase will slow down. When we look at days on the market, holding pretty firm. We go to months of inventory, up substantially. Based on the listings we have, I would expect to see that. So all of that is also trending on the national market that way. But the key on this whole information is, on the west coast of Florida, we're seeing more opportunities for buyers. We're seeing sellers willing to take mortgage rates, and I'm not seeing bidding wars right now. But sellers are not required to give away their homes. There's enough demand out there for them to get a very good price. Let's go to the national charts. Keeping Current Matters, it's their July data. I have their permission to publish the following charts. So when we take a look at what's happening out there, people talk about an economic slowdown. Are we in a recession? And the Wall Street Journal says recession fears surge among CEOs. Their survey suggests 3/4 of the global CEOs say we are in a recession or will be in the next 12 to 18 months, according to a new survey. If that's correct, what does that mean to the housing market? Let's talk about that in a minute. Let's look at a mortgage specialist. I quote, as they said, throughout history, during a recessionary period, interest rates go up at the beginning of the recession, but in order to come out of the recession, interest rates are lowered to stimulate the economy moving forward. Historically, we've seen a repeated uptick in interest rates followed by lower interest rates. Up, and then they come down as we start to come out of the recession. Let's take a look at Fortune. Over the past 5 recessions, mortgage rates have fallen an average of 1.8 percentage points from the peak all the way down to the trough. And in many cases, they continue to fall after the fact, as it takes some time to turn things around, even when the recession is technically over. The people that I talk to here locally are also suggesting by the end of the year, we'll see interest rates falling. We'll find out if that's accurate or not. This next chart, and I've shown it many times, and I wanted to bring it back. Recession does not mean a housing crisis, not at all. Over the last 6 recessions, and they're shown on this chart, housing prices grew at a fairly good rate. There were 2 times, 2 out of the 6, where they were impacted negatively. We all remember back in 2008 when prices fell almost 20%. There's a lot of reasons for that. The housing market, in my mind, caused the recession, and that's what the impact that we see. So if we do fall into the R word, the recession this year, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with impacting the market. We'll see if that's true. Let's take a look on the national basis. We're seeing that the number of offers being received by sellers are down. Offers over asking prices are down. Sales on a national basis are down just like they are locally. Inventory is up. Same thing that we see here on Florida's West Coast. Let's take a look at Mark Fleming, the chief economist of First American. We should start to see less competition, fewer bidding wars, and therefore less upward price pressure. In fact, a simple analysis shows that a 1-month increase in the month's supply results in a 3% decline in the annualized house price growth. And our preliminary house price index is already showing moderation in house prices back in April. So we're asked the question all the time, is now a good time to buy? Let's take a look at that. We're seeing a decelerating of home prices, not depreciating. Decelerating simply means the rate of increase is slowing down. It's not falling. Depreciating home prices is when they fall, and that's not in the market right now. When we look at the number of experts that made projections throughout 2022, we see all that are positive on that chart. Estimated home price performance through 2026, all positive, nothing that suggests we're going to see a backflow or a falling of the price. Realtor.com, I quote, experts don't believe the market is in a bubble or a crash is in the cards. Like during the Great Recession, the nation is still suffering from a housing shortage that has reached crisis proportions at a time when many millennials are reaching the age when they start to consider home ownership. That's likely to keep prices higher. So let's summarize this. The national and the local numbers are in sync. Sales are falling, pendings, future sales are falling, prices holding steady. Now when I say sales are falling, they're not falling at astronomical numbers. They're falling back to what we used to call the normal before we went through the last 18 months of the pandemic. So the market is definitely shifting. The market is changing. The market is coming back to where buyers and sellers are more equal. What does this mean for you? Your broker must know the market, not these numbers, but the micro numbers down to your subdivision or your condo association. Your broker has to put you in a position to win. Whether you're a seller or a buyer, there's a great opportunity here. Sellers are still getting good prices, but that listing now needs to be exposed to the highest number of qualified buyers. Buyers, when you find the house that you like, you don't have to settle. Sellers are willing to take mortgage offers in many cases. I don't see bidding wars. So we're coming back to where there's a win-win for everyone. But the key is your real estate broker must be prepared. They must have a plan. And here, Eric and I have exactly that. And we develop a plan that meets the needs that you're looking at. So I'd be happy to do more. Feel free to give me a call. My name is Mike Rennick. My direct cell is 941-400-8735. I look forward to working with you, and thanks for watching. Take care.